You know what, President Trump? This is for you, man. Look, I know you've got a lot on your plate. I know you have a lot to do and a lot to keep this country safe, and I appreciate that. But you made us a campaign promise. And I remember you said it at every stop. I'm going to fix the economy and get prices more affordable. You ain't done none of that. Not even a little bit. Stores are price gouging us on tariffs. Stuff that they're putting on tariffs on. And guess what? They're made here in America. You call it like your agencies call it out, but nothing gets done. The stores aren't made to put the prices back. They're not made to fix anything. No, instead, what are they doing? Still charge us the same prices. In fact, they're raising prices even higher. And your administration is doing nothing to help that. Nothing. Not a thing. You have done absolutely nothing to help that. And I'm sorry, but like, we're struggling. Like, you're erasing the middle class. You know, you said, oh, the left, they're all about erasing the middle class. No. You are too, because you're doing the same exact thing. You're not doing anything to help us. I know you got a lot on your plate, but man, just take a day or 2 days and do something to turn around the economy in this country. People are struggling. People are losing their homes because they can't afford. They have to choose between making a car payment or putting food on their table. People are having to choose between paying their credit cards down or putting food on the table. Or they're having to max out their credit cards to pay bills because everything is so daggum expensive. Gas should be going down. We're drilling in America. Why is gas still over $2.89 a gallon? Why is things so damn expensive under you this time, but last time is so much cheaper? I know the Biden administration screwed up the economy and made inflation just skyrocket. But there are things that you can do to fix it, and you need to do it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, where we'll break down the headlines, expose the hypocrisy, and sprinkle just the right amount of sarcasm, to keep it interesting. Now, let's talk about the MAGA voters who are suddenly dodging their red hats and crying, "This isn't what we voted for." Oh, really? You didn't see this coming. You didn't see the red flags. They were, waving right next to your Trump flags.
A Trump supporter that lost her job directly because of Donald Trump's policies now says she regrets her vote, and she is going public telling anybody that will listen. Now, this is a federal worker that lost her job directly because of Doge cuts. Take a listen to what she has to say now.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Yeah, she expected more. And what she really means there is, I didn't expect him to come after me. He was only supposed to go after other people. We were supposed to own the libs. We were supposed to go after the people that didn't like Trump, not your supporters. And now she is in the find out phase, that she too is being affected. But the story actually gets much worse for her, unfortunately, as since coming out and going public with this, her house has been vandalized. She has been receiving different kind of threats. It's really turned her world upside down, from not only losing her job and getting in the find out phase, but now losing her friends because she's going against Trump.
So y'all, I live in Florida and I voted for Trump. And honestly, I never even thought about it. Everybody I know voted for Trump, and I never thought about it, but I saw an interview with that astronaut on Fox News today, and I'm kind of freaking out. Because I have to get my insurance on that exchange, that Obamacare thing, because I'm self-employed, and that's how I have to get my insurance. And every year I have to go into the computer thing and get my insurance plan. And they're saying, I Googled it. Here, I'll show you. I Googled it, and up here, it says that in 2026, that's next year, my insurance premiums are going to go up 100%. I think that means it's double. So, if I'm paying $2,500 now, which is a lot, it's really tough, I'm going to be paying $5,000 starting in 2026. And it says that's what the whole shutdown is about. That astronaut on Fox News said that that's the reason that there's a shutdown. I thought it was about illegal immigrants. Genuinely, isn't that what it's about? But that astronaut said that they're trying to stop the premiums from doubling. Can they actually do that? This is weird, cause I'm not gonna be able to get insurance anymore. But I know, everybody keeps saying it's the illegal immigrants that the Democrats keep handing handouts. So can y'all explain to me, like, what is it? Is my insurance going to double next year? That's crazy. But it can't be Trump's fault.
I'm making this video because I voted for Trump. And a lot of my followers are Trump supporters. And I fully expect that I will probably lose a lot of friends and followers because of this opinion. First of all, if we are friends and you can't see past politics to continue being my friend, I just want to say I don't hold any ill will towards you. I totally understand if you feel the need to unfollow me, block me, and not be my friend anymore. I respect it completely. I just don't think we have the same Donald Trump that we had circa 2016 to 2020. This is not the same man. Somewhere along the way, he lost his way. To deny help to tornado victims. Then I heard he denied further assistance from FEMA to North Carolina. This is not the man we voted for. If you are upper middle class or below, I don't see how any of us are faring well under this president. And how long are we just gonna close our eyes to it and pretend it's not happening because it's him? And at least it wasn't the other guy. I will no longer stand by and pretend that I have hope in this president, because I don't. This past weekend, what he did last night was 1,000,000% unacceptable, and if any other president did that, everybody would be losing their marbles. The cuts he made to programs that help lower income people, these secret dinners with people wearing masks, it's just craziness at this point, guys. And I just can no longer stand here and say I support it, because I don't. No, I'm not a Democrat. I don't trust the government at all. But I just hope our friendships are strong enough that you guys don't base it just on something political. But understand, I fully expect that I will lose friendships. And I'm sorry to see you go, but I hope you can understand my side as well.
I want you guys to listen to this Trump supporter that voted for Donald Trump, and now he's bitching and crying because Donald Trump took funding from SNAP benefits. This is a must watch.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
Another Trump supporter who regrets their vote. Just take a listen.
You think that our Lord wants these children to be starving? And Mr. Trump, I am so very disappointed in you. I voted for you, and you have just turned us into a bunch of hateful, mean, horrible people. And it's just, I know we've got too many immigrants in this country, but my goodness, we don't have to be mean to them. That's not what this country is built on. I probably won't be here for the next election, but my goodness, I'll never, ever vote Republican, and I've been voting for 80 years. I don't know. This country's just going in the wrong direction. It just saddens my heart.
It greatly saddens my heart too. But what I don't understand is that there's actually still Trump supporters out there supporting Trump, saying that there's no one who has changed their vote. there are plenty of people out there who don't agree with what he's doing. And I wish the rest of you would wake up.
I never thought I was going to lose this much money, this fast.
Jim is a Republican who voted for Donald Trump 3 times.
How do you feel about your vote for Donald Trump now?
Well, I feel like perhaps I should have considered some other options.
The past 2 years, Jim has been selling honey to the federal government, which then provides it to schools and food banks. But after Donald Trump took office, the USDA cut those programs suddenly as part of the federal government's effort to streamline spending.
For a lot of other local farmers around here, it was a major source of reliable revenue. For me, it's going to cost me around $150,000 a year.
Whoop-de-doo, another MAGA FAFO. This is getting really fucking old at this point, but I will continue to post these every single day because I do believe that there is a benefit in highlighting Trump supporters themselves regretting their vote so that other Trump supporters might see and be like, oh shit, yeah, we can be affected by the man we voted for. The frustrating part about all of this is they never seem to give a shit until it affects them. There's zero empathy in that heart until it affects them. And then only until it affects them do they regret their vote. But I think it's important. I think it's important it gets highlighted. I'm not here to shame you. I'll take up arms with you. I'll fight this administration with you. And I'll encourage you to vote in the midterms for someone who will actually do better for this country. But I am going to highlight it until then because I think it's valuable information. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
You ever notice how history doesn't just repeat, it adapts? Because if you listen to people in 2025, right now, you'll hear them saying, this isn't the Trump I voted for. I didn't know it would go this far. Sound familiar? Because if you've ever picked up a book about history, it should. It's not the first time people have said it. And we really need to talk about what that means. Because here's the thing. Yes, absolutely. There were Germans who said, this isn't what I voted for when Hitler fully seized power. But let's get specific so we don't miss the lesson. When Hitler came to power in 1933, he didn't run on a single clear promise of genocide and dictatorship. He ran on ending the economic collapse of the Great Depression, restoring German pride after the humiliation of World War I, punishing the corrupt political elites of the Weimar Republic, stopping communist revolution, and uniting true Germans. A lot of people supported those goals without signing up for what came next. Some of them literally said later on, of course, we wanted jobs and stability. We didn't want war. We wanted an end to street violence, not book burnings. We voted for law and order, not camps, because they thought the radical parts were just talk. They assumed he didn't really mean it. Or they just figured it wouldn't touch them. But here's the truth they didn't want to face. Hitler told them exactly what he believed. He wrote Mein Kampf. He made no secret of his anti-Semitism. He promised to smash democracy. And he used fear and scapegoats from day one. So why did people convince themselves that it wouldn't go that far? Because they only wanted to believe the parts that benefited them. Because they hated the other just enough to look away. Because they thought they could control him. Because beating their enemies felt more important than protecting democracy. And when he took over, sure, some regretted it. Some said this isn't what I wanted as freedoms vanished. Some tried to distance themselves and some just went quiet. But by then, it was too late. He'd outlawed dissent, controlled the press, dismantled the system that could have stopped him. Now look at us. In 2025. Tell me it doesn't sound familiar. Because you've got people saying this isn't the Trump I voted for. I just wanted the economy strong. I just wanted the border under control. I didn't want camps. But let's be real, he told you who he was. He said immigrants were an invasion. He called the press an enemy. He praised dictators, refused to concede when he lost. He pardoned the people who stormed the Capitol for him. He said he'd be a dictator on day one. It was never subtle. You just didn't want to see it. And now we have actual camps in 2025. Alligator Alcatraz, a real detention camp in the Florida Everglades. Razor wire, surrounded by swamps and predators. Thrown up in 2 weeks to terrify migrants into leaving. Bragged about like it's a victory, sold to you as security. Is cruelty as policy, fear as branding, exactly as promised. So if you're saying this isn't what I voted for, ask yourself, which parts did you think were just for show? Which scapegoats did you decide were acceptable? Which warning signs did you ignore because you thought you'd never pay the price? Because that's how it always goes. People tell themselves that the violence is exaggerated, that the tough talk is just talk, that it's about keeping order, not taking freedom, until it's too late to stop. And by then, there's no voting it out. There's no easy way back. So no, I don't want to hear this isn't what I voted for as an excuse, because history doesn't give free passes for willful ignorance. It gives warnings. And if y'all keep ignoring them, we're going to learn that same hard lesson all over again. That democracy doesn't die in a moment. It dies in a bargain. One that says as long as it benefits me, I'm going to look the other way. Until there's no one left to look and no freedom left to save.
People that like, they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back.
My father immigrated here from Nicaragua, right? Like one of my prized possessions is I have his immigration papers when he came here. And I have them in a frame, and him and his siblings when they came here. And so I have tons of thoughts about it, but this was just fucked up, right? It was fucked up. And it was everywhere. It was like on all platforms and stuff. So that had me really kind of paranoid. That had me start to get kind of paranoid and, like closing, like, I had the curtains in my house kind of closed. I was just like, you're paranoid. I woke up the next morning. Sorry, I need some water. I woke up the next morning to a text from a high government official saying, hey, if you need some extra security in your neighborhood or some extra police cars on patrol, let me know. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Extra security? I don't have any, I don't even know the code to my Ring camera. Like, I don't even know how to log in. So it's like, and what, you're just going to put police cars in my neighborhood? What are my neighbors going to think now? They're fearful. Like, it just like, I don't know, man. That like really kind of shook me. It really kind of shook me. But you keep marching on, and you start getting security. And then now you have security, right? And the thing is, you just don't know. You just don't know. Right? There was a moment on it was White House, because the White House also put this out.
I have now seen Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan, and most recently Theo Vaughn say, I didn't vote for this. Man, you did. I know that folks will probably turn the other way when I say this, because it's Theo Vaughn and they view him in a certain way. But this is intellectually dishonest. And to say this is basically admitting that you think your audience is stupid. You got shout outs on election night. Dana White applauded you, along with Aiden Ross, along with Joe Rogan. You invited him on your podcast and yucked it up. You have been given access that some would dream of getting. And what really irks me about all of this is the fact that we told you this would happen. There were too many signs that pointed to Donald Trump being the vehicle to Project 2025. When they say they wanted to launch the biggest mass deportation in history, you voted for it. And now Theo Vaughn is thinking that his rich privilege may not protect him because he has family members from Nicaragua. I believe her name is Francesca Ramsey, who says, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. My brother, they are eating your face. They are eating all of our faces. Some of us voluntarily wanted them to eat our faces, and the others fought tooth and nail for it to not happen. I am so sick and tired of all of these comedians saying, I didn't vote for this, I didn't vote for this. Maybe, though, it's on us as a society. Maybe it's on us for putting comedians on this pedestal when, in reality, like I think David Cross and George Carlin and Mark Maron, like, they do hold up a mirror to society, along with many others, of course. But when it comes to being politically savvy, maybe we shouldn't rely on the flagrant crew. Maybe we shouldn't rely on Theo Vaughn to be the mastermind of politics and understanding geopolitics and understanding human rights cases, etc. Maybe it's on us, because after all, they are entertaining us through joke telling, some a lot better than others. Some students of history, others willing to lick the boot to dictate.
Oh, now you didn't vote for this? Yes, you did. You didn't care because you didn't think it was going to affect you. I mean, what? You thought it was a good idea to run it back after the first time? The man tried to overthrow our fucking democracy because he lost an election. And to all of you patriots, I'm going to take my country back. Y'all are a bunch of fucking traitors. People are losing their jobs, their benefits. People losing their farms. People are being kicked out of Job Corps. People that are trying to find and make a way. Planes falling out the fucking sky. Racists are running around like it's 1960s, spouting all kind of hate speech and slurs. White tea supremacists are running around with plain clothes on and masks, snatching people off of the streets and sending them to God knows where without due process. We have a president that pays no attention to what the Supreme Court is saying, and they allow him to do it and get away with every fucking thing. Economists are warning us that because of these dumb tariffs, that we're going to be in a recession more than likely. So yeah, you voted for this. All you bros that listen to Charlie Kirk and Joe Rogan and Steve Bannon and Tucker Carlson and Fox News, you're programmed. You can't even think for your fucking selves. No one is coming for you. The world just caught up to you. And you wonder why women choose the bear. And don't get me started on brown people that voted for Trump. Blacks for Trump. Latinos for Trump. Palestinians for Trump. Muslims for Trump. The fuck were you thinking? Like, us brown people, we should be sticking together against white supremacy. Have you forgotten history? How all of us were treated when we were either brought or came here? The fuck? What? You didn't want to vote for the black woman? You didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris? The person that was actually qualified? The person who had plans and not concepts? The person who accomplished the American fucking dream. She went to college and graduated, went to law school, became an AD, a DA, a senator, the vice president, overly fucking qualified. You didn't want to vote for her. What? Because of your racism, your bigotry, your misogyny, your homophobia? You care more about all of that than your own fucking country. You guys are traitors. And shit is gonna get worse. So yeah, you voted for this. It didn't have to be this way. Our allies around the world are looking at us like, what the fuck is happening in America? And some of you still don't even see it. You voted for this, and you're gonna have to live with the consequences.
Breaking for news, the founder of Women for Trump can't believe we're in a shutdown. This is the same woman that went hard for Donald Trump all those times. She can't believe we're in a shutdown. Well, guess what? Now she's speaking out about high groceries. That it's a problem, not only for her, but for millions of women, men, and Trump supporters. So she's worried about us being in a government shutdown. She's worried about the recession. And now she's mad at prices being too high under her current leader. Now, I only report the news, but I'm here to tell you the co-founder for Women for Trump is frustrated. She's mad at the government shutdown. She's mad at the recession. And now she's mad at the high prices of groceries. Maybe you should look for your leader for options and choices. Maybe you should talk for your leader so she went so hard in the paint. We don't do buyer's remorse. We don't do that around here. Follow your boy for more news. I will keep you up on the shutdown, Trump supporters who are going crazy, and these high grocery prices.
If I hear another hardcore Trump supporter tell us that whenever he does whatever policy he does, that we didn't vote for that, I am going to absolutely have a stroke. This week, you had the founder of Latinas for Trump, a state senator down here in the state of Florida, a woman by the name of Ileana Garcia. And Miss Garcia told us this week that with Donald Trump rounding up immigrants and deporting them out of the country, arresting them, she said, we didn't vote for this. Here is her exact quote. This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane. She said that her Cuban refugee parents are now just as American, if not more so, than Stephen Miller. I understand the importance of deporting criminal aliens, but what we are witnessing are arbitrary measures to hunt down people who are complying with their immigration hearings, in many cases with credible fear of persecution claims, all driven by a Miller-like desire to satisfy a self-fabricated deportation goal. This undermines the sense of fairness and justice that the American people value. I agree with almost everything you said. If it weren't for that first sentence where you said, this is not what we voted for, everything you said after that was accurate and true and passionate and real, and I loved it. But you undermined it by making that first claim, this is not what we voted for. This is, in fact, exactly what you voted for. Donald Trump made it clear during the campaign that he was going to have mass arrests followed by mass deportations of people here in the United States that he didn't want here in the United States. Oh, if only there were signs. Oh, you know what? Speaking of if there were signs, the people at the Republican National Convention where they nominated Donald Trump officially, they literally had signs they were holding up, hundreds of people that said mass deportations now. There's your sign. Quite literally.
Now, every election cycle, we hear the same tune. We want to change. Yeah, but somehow you all keep voting for the chaos wrapped in red tie. The man told you who he was out loud on camera every single day. You didn't need a decoder ring. You just needed to listen. Now, MAGA voters are online saying they didn't expect this economy, these policies, these lawsuits, these broken promises. They sound like someone who bought a used car from a guy named Don and now wonders why the engine blew up 2 miles later. And here's the funny part. Some of them are still defending it. They say they say things like, well, at least he speaks his mind. Well, so does your uncle at Thanksgiving. That doesn't mean you'd make him president. Even the comedian Theo, a guy who once, flirted with the MAGA line, has just joined the wait. What's going on? Hello guys, what's going on, club? Now, the same crowd that shouted build the wall is now wondering why their grocery bills look like, rent payments. The same folks who wanted to drain the swamp somehow forgot that Trump built a luxury hotel right next to it. Let's be honest, the red flags were practically growing and glowing in the dark. From the tax cuts for billionaires to the farmers going broke, from healthcare policies and promises that never came to endless, finger points. It's been one long reality show called America's Got Excuse. Or excuses, rather. And yet, they'll probably do it again. Because for some, it's not about policies. It's about pride. It's about being on the lips. Patriots who, even if, it means burning their own crops, raising their own taxes, and wrecking their own communities. So now, when MAGA voters say, this isn't what I voted for, maybe the better question is, what exactly did you think you were voting for? And Anyway, that's my take. What do you think? Tell me what you all think. Will these regretful MAGA voters finally learn from this, or are we just, one campaign slogan away from make America broke again? Now, drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown like this one. Until next time, stay sharp and keep asking the hard questions. Credit belongs to original creators. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you, guys.